My name is Esther, and I'm the Danish stitcher, and this is my Flosstube number 16. If you have been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, and I hope you will stay or come back again. This Flosstube is a bit different because in the end I have put a little video on how I celebrate Christmas here in Denmark. I will talk about the food and I will talk about the tree, because we have a real tree with real candles on. I know that's not very common anymore. Even here in Denmark, a lot of people have switched to electrical candles on the Christmas tree, but we still use real candles. Yeah. So if you're not curious about how we celebrate Christmas in Denmark, then you can just stop the video when the stitching is done. But I do hope that you are a bit curious about how we celebrate Christmas here in Denmark. Also, I would like to mention that yesterday I uploaded a video of 5.5 minutes because yesterday we went to see my mother, who lives in Sweden, and we drove through the most fantastic winter wonderland with a lot of rhyme on all the trees and bushes and everywhere. It was so beautiful. So if you got 5.5 minutes left, spare, I would suggest and you like winter wonderlands, I would suggest that you watch that video. Okay, now to the stitching. I've done quite a lot of stitching since my last Flosstube. I have 7 whips to show you and 2 FOs, and 3 of those mentioned are actually new starts since my last video, but it has been exactly 1 month since I recorded a video last time. So the first one is a pretty old one. It's my star pillow. It's on 16 count Aida, white Aida, and it's in silks, Misusita silk, called Oxide, which is sold out, by the way, and I really love the way it looks. I think it's so beautiful. This I very often use as a kind of travel piece, or if I am at work or in a staff meeting or stuff like that, because I don't need any patterns. I can just stitch and stitch. And I will put up a photo so you can see how far I was last time. The next one is from Cross Stitcher magazine. It's called The Night Before Christmas, and it's going to be a Christmas stocking. Not that I actually use Christmas stockings here, but when I saw it, I just had to make it. And I also bought the fake fur, so I'm going to make it quite like you can see in the picture. And I've done pretty much since the last time. I still need to do some skaters here, but I just wanted to get down here to this quite huge house, because there are going to be 2 more pine trees, and they are very big as well. I finished Rudolph up there. I still need to do some back stitching on this house. I am beginning to think that I would like to finish this one before the end of the year, but I think there are still 2,000 or 3,000 stitches left, so I don't know if I can manage that. But it's the 28th today, so I still got some time, and I don't have any plans for the next days. So that was that. Last time I showed you my temperature tree, I was quite far behind. I have actually, I'm almost up to date with it now. I think the last day I put in was the 25th of December, and I'm going to wait and do the last leaves until the 1st of January, because then it's done. And I will put in my initials as if it's a 21 finish. And this is how it looks. I think it's gorgeous. And as I have told you before, you can see some of the leaves have got silver in it. It's those days that we have snow, and as you can see, it began to snow on the 23rd, and we still have snow here. And it's pretty cold as well. I am very pleased with the result. I will not make this tree next year though. I'm going to make another project which I did talk about in my last video. I will mention it again later when I talk about plants. The next one is Captain John Hart's. I did a pretty good job on it. I stitched 6,369 stitches since the last time. And the last time I worked on this corner here. But as you can see, I have especially been working here, in this area, and a little bit over here. I think I still got 7,000 stitches left, or something like that. As I mentioned in my last video, and I actually had started it, I have been doing this Advent start along with Stitch Longer. And the first one I started was a movie cross-stitch pattern with a Doctor Who / Torchwood. Last time when I showed it to you, I had stitched 85 stitches. Now I have done 3,662 stitches, and it looks like this. And these are just that I can see where the letters start, because sometimes I get bored stitching all that black, and then it's nice to do some of these lines here in color. I think it will be done pretty soon. I love the coverage. It's on 20 count, and this is DMC 310. But look at it's very good coverage, I think. But it is 20 count, and that's probably why, because the coverage isn't that well looking when I stitch on 18 count. And I was actually I was actually not sure if I could do it with 2/1, but I'm so happy that I'm doing it with 2/1, and it's not hard. It goes pretty easy, and because it's on 20 count, it's not going to be that big. I like that as well. Another start along, or Advent start along, was the Fellowship. I had some problems with that because my first choice of floss and fabric, it didn't work. So I had to start all over, picking new fabric, picking new floss. But now I think I found something that works. I'm stitching it with the Misusita silks called Damasco. And this is actually one of the few times where I start almost in the middle, and that's because you have all these, the Fellowship walking here, and then you will have the logo of the Lord of the Rings here. And I just wanted to make sure that I had enough fabric, or that it was placed correctly on the fabric. And I like the way it looks so far. It would probably have popped more if I had done it in black, but I have done so much in black lately that I just needed a different cover. And on the Fellowship so far I have done 606 762 stitches. I have also a new start. It's called Something Wick This Way Comes from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I have done 480 stitches. And this is how far I got. This fabric. This pattern calls for the fabric Haunt by Picture This Plus, which is impossible to get hold of. I will put up a picture of it, and therefore I hand dyed this myself, and I actually think I managed pretty good to find to make a fabric looking quite a lot like the fabric that is supposed to be used for this pattern. Actually, I'm very pleased with the fabric. This fabric is a part of what I call the winter collection. The last time I dyed fabric. I will show you the rest of the fabrics later on. But since this is a new start, I had to show it now. But I'm very pleased with it. Then I have my two FOs. The first one is also an Advent start along. It's the Raven by New York Needleworks Etsy shop, and it has 3,149 stitches. I dyed this fabric myself, and I'm very pleased with it. And here I used Misusida silks. I think I'm going to frame it. And as you can see, I still got some fabric left. So I will probably do something monochrome again, because it looks really really good with black on this fabric. And the last thing I have to show you, the last project, is also an Advent stitch along, start along. I had planned to do some Harry Potter, but then I found this pattern, so I switched because I found a Buffy pattern. And I have been stitching on this like crazy, and I think it took me 12 days or something. 12 or 14 days to do it. It has 13,716 stitches, and it looks amazing. It's a fantastic pattern, I think. And this is definitely going to be framed with a black frame. I love that all this is not stitched, but you can still see that it's Buffy. This is in DMC 310, and it's on 16 count, but I think actually 2/1 that the coverage is okay most places. And the moon here, as you can see, it's a little glittery. I decided to do that in DMC Etoile, or however you pronounce it. I'm very pleased with this one, very. So that were my whips and my FOs. Now on to something different, because I got mail. I think you could call it happy mail, at least some of it. First of all, Vanessa, who most of you probably know from Instagram. She was so kind, and she sent me the most heartwarming cards. And of course, I'm not going to show you what she wrote, but this is the picture of the historic Bethlehem museums and sites with a lot of snow on it. And as I said, a very, very kind Christmas card with what she wrote. So thank you very much, Vanessa. Then I got mail from Germany, from Stitch Lanka. And this time it's her fault that I will mention the name of the actor James Masters again, because actually I didn't plan to do that today. And if you noticed when I showed you Captain John Hart, I didn't say his name. But Stitch Lanka, she thought that I should have a snow globe, and not just a common snow globe. No. A snow globe with this actor in it. So now I got my first snow globe ever with my favorite actor. And actually it's also my first snow globe. Maybe I had one when I was a kid, but that's a long time ago. But thanks again, Ilonka. And she also wrote a very kind card. And since she's living in Germany, we hope, if the restrictions will be lifted sometime in 22, we hope to actually meet up, because we live just 5-6 hours drive from each other. So that should be possible. Well, I got one more Christmas card from Mrs. Cedars. And she also sent me a present. So I got this wonderful silk scarf. It's so soft, and I really like the colors in it. And it smells like her silks, so I really like it. I love it. Thank you very much. Now to WIPGO. I have decided to make my WIPGO goals quite different this year, because I found out this year, that if I put in a particular project, I will most definitely fail. And since I would actually like not to fail, I've decided to have a different approach this year. And instead I'm going to put up a picture of my WIPGO board now, so you can see it. And as you can see, I have a lot of different kind of themes. For example, I have 3 times where I have to stitch on something with cats, either 500 or 1. All of them have either 500 or 1,000 stitches in the month drawn. And that's not very hard, because usually I stitch between 500 and 2,000 stitches a day, so it shouldn't be a problem to achieve the goal. As some examples on what I could stitch, I have picked 3 examples: cats, nerdy, and Halloween, and nerdy and dark fabric. Cats, I have plenty to choose from, and I'm just going to fill the screen with the photos of most of them are whips. There are 3 new starts here. The 3 new starts to be here comes Santa Claus, Sleeping Kitten, and the Cat Christmas Tree. I probably have more patterns with cats, but this will be enough. So, and when something nerdy is drawn, I have these to choose from at the moment, but I will probably get more, because I have been dabbling in doing some patterns myself using Pictobat on the internet. For example, a Diablo 3 logo, because that's my favorite game. So, and if I decide to stitch on, not if I decide, but when it's the number is drawn where I have to stitch on dark fabric, I have 3 whips on black Ada. One, and you can see them here. I might also make a new start. I have an idea of someday. I have this wonderful silks avatar I will put in the picture from Misusitas, and I think it would just look fantastic on dark fabric. I just need the right project for it, and I think it should be a monochrome project, but I haven't decided yet. The only thing I have decided is that I will not do a Galliana cross stitch on black again. I have two that has taken me quite some time, and they're still WIPs. So eventually I'm going to pick something else. I will let you know when I find out. So if I pick Halloween, there are also 3 possibilities. I have at least 16 WIPs to choose from, not mentioning all the new starts I haven't, all the patterns I haven't even kitted up yet. And Christmas, I have at least 10 projects to choose from. So, and as you can see, other topics would be people, spring, animals, plants, silks, summer, winter, Easter. Some of my WIPs can go in different categories. For example, the new starts. Here comes Santa Paws, can be for Christmas, but it can also be for cats. Okay, so this was my WIPGO board. So the first 2 numbers have been drawn. Actually, she published the numbers already on the 26th. Usually she does it on the 27th. The first one is number 2, and that means I have to stitch at least 1000 stitches on a nerdy project, and I have chosen my Something Wig This Way Comes. And the other number was number 19, and in my case that's 500 stitches on an Easter project. And I have chosen to stitch one of these Easter eggs with flowers by Cute Pattern by Maria. I haven't decided yet which one I'm going to stitch. I will tell you more about floss and fabric later on when I talk about new starts. And now it's time for Curator's Corner. Welcome to Curator's Corner. I have quite a lot of haul today, if I may say so. And I'm also going to show you my hand-dyed fabrics. First of all, I bought 2 new patterns. You have seen the first one because the first one was this pattern. It's from Etsy. And then Galliana Cross Stitch, she released a new Christmas pattern called Christmas Window, which will start as a sale on January the 1st. And I think it's so beautiful. And of course I said, yeah, my first sale for the next year, I'm in. And I have kitted the stuff up. I have showed it on Facebook, on Instagram. I will return to that later. So we went to a thrift store. Usually I don't visit thrift stores that often, but this time I did. And I found 2 old Danish patterns. This, I'll do it like this, and it's on some linen, and as you can see, it's almost done. There's still the fabric left. It's not that I'm going to stitch this, but I thought they might be fun eventually as a giveaway at some point. And if nobody's interested, I will just throw it out, or maybe just give the pattern. Maybe someone would like the pattern. Anyway, this was the first one. The other one is actually a Clara Weaver. And I don't know if, sorry, not Clara Weaver, Eva Rosenstrand, who is a very famous Danish designer. And it's a kind of a duck, and I forgot what this duck is called in English. It's a very old pattern. I think it must be from the 50s, maybe the 40s. Anyway, it's an original pattern. And you also have the floss, and as you can see, it's here, some of it. Yeah, maybe some of you know what kind of duck it is. So, they didn't cost much, and therefore I thought, hey, I'm going to buy them, and maybe I can make them into a giveaway at some point. Please let me know what you think about making these into a giveaway. Would you be interested in them or not? I also found some frames. I might not like the way they look here, but I have a lot of chalk paint, so I can paint them. But I like the size of them, and I liked the way they looked, but they just need some paint. And this one. And this one I really like. And of course I have also been shopping at Casa Giannina. Yeah. Some DMC. I have been shopping at Casa Giannina twice since my last video. And maybe you can see that these are replacements from Captain John Hart, because these are the colors used there. Because I try to keep at least 2 skeins of each color of DMC. That means that sometimes when I buy DMC, I usually buy a lot of DMC. And then I decided to, after I had bought this new Hate, Here Comes Santa pose, I decided, being lazy, so instead of kitting it up, because it has about 90 colors from my stash, I decided, hey, why don't I just kit it up by ordering all the colors from Casa Giannina. So I did. Because I had to shop because I needed some more aging count, because this is going to be a huge project, so I needed a huge piece of fabric. Easy count. I always use easy count for Hate. So these are the colors for it. So it's not kitted up yet, because usually when I kit up big projects like this, I always use my little zipper bags, but then I will put all the colors starting with 3. That means from 30 till 39, goes to only 35. I will put in one bag, and all the numbers with 200 I will put in one bag, because that makes it easier for me to find the color I need. Usually when I stitch a big project like this, I do not sorry, it's Quintus. I don't know, he's not happy at the moment. Usually when I stitch on big projects like this, I do not use more than 2 or 3 colors. That means before I start, I pick out which colors I'm going to work with that day, and therefore I don't need to go through all the little bags to find the colors I need every time I change the colors. Because sometimes I also say, okay, now today, for example, Captain John Hart, there are a lot of Captain John Hart, there are a lot of the colors 33, 34, 35, and that means I take out that little zipper bag, and then I have it next to me at the table, and then it's very easy to find the color. Shopping at DMC, I also bought some Mill Hill beads. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but I just felt like, why not? I am a curator, right? And I'm of this exquisite private collection of craft items, craft supplies. of course I need to keep it up to date so that it's never a small collection. So these are little green one. They are not that turquoise as shown, they are more green. And this is a mix. Let's see if it works better like this. Yeah, that's better. And this one, nice purple. And here it's a blue one, very nice blue color. Although it does, yeah, it's lilac. And another lilac. Maybe you can see what kind of color I really like. Otherwise, look at what I'm wearing today. And some red beans. Beads, not beans. And then, of course, glow-in-the-dark beads. This nice aqua color. And some pinkish glow-in-the-dark seeds. And some glass, some silver, and I think they're ecru or something. And as I said before, I have no idea what I'm going to use them for. I will find out eventually. I also bought this. It's silk. No, satin. No, silks, it says. It was very cheap. 10 Danish kroners. And there are 22 meters. And it has a very nice color. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for yet, but hey, that's not the most important thing about having a private collection. The most important thing is to have a collection, right? So, in this year for Christmas, I actually got some DMC. It's just, they just randomly picked some colors. I guess they picked the colors they liked. And hey, no complaining from me because I like DMC. I also bought a lot of, not a lot of, I bought about 6 or 7 frames. The most important one is the frame I bought for my Captain John Hart. He is not done yet, but I hope to have it done before the end of January. And since I needed the other frames, I thought, well, I might as well order it at the same time. I'm not going to show you the frame because it has plastic on and it's all glary, but I'm going to show you this frame. Because this is what you call a passe-partout. I actually do not know what you call it in English. But, and I'm going to put up a picture. So you can see how it will look eventually when it's done. And then something very special. It has taken a long time for it to arrive. I think I have been waiting for 2 months. It looked like some ordinary scissors, right? But no, no, no. If you look closely, can you see it? Danish stitcher. So it's a personalized pair of scissors. And the scissors themselves are very good. And I really like having a personalized pair of scissors. So that was another pair of scissors for my collection of scissors. The last thing in this curator's corner are my Handheld Fabrics. I call them my winter collection because I think the colors are kind of winterish. It's all 16 count Aida. So I will just show you. So I made some. This was one of my attempts to dye for Something Wick This Way Comes, but I didn't succeed here. I still like the modeling, but it didn't suit my needs for that project. And there's another one. That worked quite alright as well, but I better liked the one I chose. Let me show you again. This one, because this has more green and more pink in it. And then something darker. And every time so these were almost fat quarters, and then I also do, I don't know what you call it, the half of a 50% of a quarter? No, it's less. Never mind. They are 28 by 36 centimeters. So I have this one. That's why I brought this. I think I succeeded pretty well in getting some decent modeling on it, as you can see. This might also go for early spring, but I still think it has more winter color to it. And this one. And this one. And so as you can see, quite a lot of them have these grayish colors, but I really liked those grayish colors. I think most colors pop very nicely on gray fabric, but I also like the modeling of it. And don't ask me how I got these colors, because when I dye, it's trial and error. I put in a little of that color and a little of that, and okay, let's see how this looks. No, this is not good, so I will redo it and put some more colors in. And of course I always start with the lightest colors, because if I start with the dark colors, then I cannot change it. And this one. Oh, and here is, this one is the double size. I can say that the one for my Something Wick This Way Comes project, I started doing green and pink, and then I added some black to get the gray color. That's all I remember. So, well, this was Curator's Corner for this time. Let's go back and hear about my plans. Welcome back. And the last thing I need to tell you about are my plans. And the first one is Here Comes Santa Claus, which I showed you before. It's going to be an 18 count, and I still need to kit up the floss, but I have all the floss here. I don't know when I'm going to start it, but sometime in the 22. I have 1 week of holiday in the middle of January, so I might start it there. I don't know, because I have also been thinking about maybe I should start making some of my, I have quite a lot of FOs, finished objects now, that I would like to get fully finished. So maybe I should spend some time doing that. But I also have a huge dentist appointment on the 18th. So maybe I'm not in the mood for stitching when I come home. I'm also going to start the temperature houses by Jardin Privé. And I have decided that I will use the same temperature colors as I did for the temperature tree, because then it will be easier for me to compare them. And I decided to do it on a 16 count printed fabric. It's called Snow on Gray. And this is from Sew It All, from the time when I could still buy in the UK. And I'm really looking forward to stitching this one, because it's going to be all those little cute houses where the roof will tell me the coldest temperature of that 24 hours, and the house itself will tell the highest temperature. The temperature tree only shows the highest temperature, and sometimes we do get very, very low temperatures at night here. So I know for a fact that on the 25th of December this year, where my sister lives, they had, when they woke up the 25th, they had minus 16 degrees. I will find out what that is in Fahrenheit and put it down here. So it was very cold, and those temperatures are not uncommon here. We don't have them every winter, but almost every winter we do have below zero. Okay, the last news, that's not true. I was talking about this WIPGO. This, I put the picture up again. These eggs with flowers I'm going to do. I'm going to do them on 18 count Ada, light green. I will not use the colors called for necessarily, because I've been using stitch palettes last spring to pick out some colors that worked well together, and I have them here. These are actually the colors from when I did Shannon Christine's little freebie. I'll put up a picture. And I never came around to put them back in stash. And then I used a stitch palette. And this one is called Morning Tulips. These colors here. So Morning Tulips. And these one are called Pastel Hues of Easter. And these ones are called Soft Yellows. And here we have Curtain of Colors. And Purple Crocus. And I'm actually thinking about doing the crocus, because, as you might know, crocus is my favorite color. Okay, the last new start I'm going to start during January. Yeah, I'm going to start this one on the 1st of January, because this is the Sal by Galliana Cross Stitch, her Christmas window. I'm going to stitch it on 18 count Zweigart light blue Ada. Nothing special about that, but my floss. It's the Mrs. Cedar's, and again it shows the absolutely wrong color. I will put up the picture I put on Instagram, where you can see the color correctly, because I think it's going to look stunning. And this color is called Copper. I think that was about it for this time. My next floss tube is going to be a bit different, because it's going to be a parade, not a whip parade, because I did a whip parade in July, and I think I'm going to do my whip parade in July, because there I got my summer holiday and have more time to iron all those projects, because the number of my whips keep growing. I think when I have made those new starts here, I will probably have about 50 whips or something. I lost count, and I don't give a damn. I could find out how many whips I have because of my book I showed you last time, but it's not that important to me. But I'm going to show you my finishes of 2021. There are more than 20. I'm not sure that I'm going to sit here showing it, because I'm not sure that I have got all of them, because I haven't got all of them, because some of them are presents. So I might just make it with, I will still sit here, but I will probably make it with the photos instead. That would be easier. But I'm not going to do that until the beginning of January. I would probably do that when I got my 1 week holiday, because there I have the time for it. Yeah, I think that was it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you will come back again. And if you want to see how I celebrate Christmas here in Denmark, or at least see my Christmas tree and the food we had, then just wait, and it will start in half a minute, in 30 seconds or something like that. Take care, and by the way, Happy New Year. Bye. So I thought I might as well tell you a bit about our Christmas food while I'm preparing it. So this is how it looks at the moment. It's the 24th of December. This is the date where we celebrate Christmas in the evening here in Denmark. So first, here we have red cabbage, and it just needs to be warmed up. This year I just bought it from glass, but sometimes I make it from a raw red cabbage, but not this year, because we're only 2 this year. We did celebrate Christmas with Carsten's 4 children yesterday, but we had sushi then, because this is very heavy food. Here we have the gravy. It's pretty thick, just the way it should be. And here we have white potatoes, and they're boiling, so I better. That's it. And then to a Danish specialty, caramelized potatoes. Most Danes eat this for Christmas, either together with the roast pork, or with duck, or both. A lot of households actually eat both, and some all instead have a turkey, and they still eat these potatoes. This is as Christmassy as the food gets here in Denmark, but I don't like them. I know how to make them, and it's essential that you do not move them around too much, because then everything can go wrong. But it's not that difficult to make them. But my taste buds don't like the combination of sweet caramel with the taste of potatoes, so I don't like them. Speaking of potatoes, usually we do not eat the white potatoes in that size. Usually we have them in the normal size, but since it's only Carsten and me this Christmas, we decided that we would just go for this size instead of buying extra potatoes, because I do not eat that many potatoes. So, caramelized potatoes, a Danish specialty, and I think the Danes have been making that since the 1800s. And we do not only eat it for Christmas, sometimes we do eat it when people eat duck. But in this household, it's only for Christmas Eve. Speaking of Christmas Eve, today it's the 24th of December, and today is when we celebrate Christmas here in Denmark in the evening. I know that in English-speaking countries you usually celebrate Christmas on the morning of the 25th. But as I said, here in Denmark it's the 24th in the evening. I will also give you a brief look on the roast pork. It's not done yet, so. But as you can see, it is in the oven and it's almost time for it to get out and rest, and then I need to get the skin, because the skin of the pig is still on the top and I need to get that very crispy, and therefore I need to put the grill on, but that will have to be without the pork itself. A bit difficult to explain, and I'm not very good at explaining how I cook because I'm not that very fond of cooking. So okay.